Robert is 68. For years, getting out of a chair meant a hand pressed against the small of his back before he could fully straighten. Climbing out of the car came with a wince he had stopped noticing because it had become so familiar. The garden he used to spend whole Saturday mornings in sat untouched for most of last summer, because bending over the flower beds was not worth the ache that followed. He chalked it up to age, the way most people do. But what if it was not age? What if it was simply a lower back that hadn't moved freely in years? If this sounds like you, these 5 gentle back stretches for seniors, 10 minutes, done right at home, can change that. And if you're tempted to skip ahead, here's a quiet nudge. The first 4 stretches prepare your back. They loosen, they warm, they open. But the 5th one, the one Robert still does every single morning, that's the one that teaches your spine to move freely again. So stay with me through all 5. Let's start with movement number 1, knee to chest. We start on the floor or your bed if that's easier. This first stretch is one of the most gentle stretches for back pain and goes straight to the source of that morning stiffness most people feel the moment they try to stand up. So, lie flat and relaxed on a supportive surface. A bed or a comfortable yoga mat work well. Gently bring one knee up toward your chest, holding it gently with both hands, while the other leg stays relaxed on the floor. Hold for a few deep breaths, then lower it slowly and repeat on the other side. This might look too simple to matter, but it acts like a natural release valve for a compressed lower spine. It targets the deep muscles of the lower back directly, easing them into a gentle stretch and creating a small amount of space between the vertebrae. This is one of the most effective lower back pain relief stretches for seniors at home, without any equipment. That light decompression is often where the relief begins. The same tightness that builds up after hours in a chair starts to release the moment you lie back and let the spine lengthen. Now, the second movement, the pelvic tilt. This second lower back pain relief stretch stays on the floor, and it's even smaller than the first. But don't let that fool you. What's happening underneath the surface is doing more work than it looks. Now, while lying flat on your back with your knees comfortably bent and feet flat on the floor, gently press the small of your lower back downward into the floor. You do this by subtly tightening your abdominal muscles. Hold for 5 seconds, and then release. To someone watching, it might look like you're barely moving at all, but your deep stabilizing muscles feel the benefit immediately. This lower back stiffness relief movement focuses entirely on the deep core and lower back stabilizers. It works the deep core muscles that stabilize the lower back from the inside. You know, the ones that often go quiet when we sit for long stretches of the day. Strengthening that quiet support system is part of what keeps the lower back from carrying the load on its own. Recent clinical research has shown that these micro movements are highly effective at activating the small stabilizing muscles that support the pelvis. They take the daily mechanical strain off your lower spine. The next one is simple but powerful, the cat-cow. This third movement is one most people recognize, but very few do it slowly enough to get the full benefit. We're also giving you a seated version, so the floor is completely optional. So, on a soft mat, position yourself on your hands and knees. Slowly arch your back toward the ceiling like a stretching cat, and then gently let your belly dip toward the floor. Move slowly between the 2 positions. Breathe evenly, because floor exercises aren't ideal for everyone. Here's the seated version we promised. Sit upright in a sturdy chair. Place your hands on your thighs and gently round your back outward before pulling your shoulders back to open up your chest. This is one of the classic back stretches for seniors that targets your overall spinal mobility and full back flexibility. With this gentle motion, it breaks up deep-seated stiffness along the entire spine and lubricates the small joints connecting your spinal segments. This moves the spine through its full range and restores flexibility through the whole length of your back, not just the lower portion. For anyone dealing with lower back pain after 60, this one movement alone can make a noticeable difference. It's also one of the simplest ways that's proven to restore spine flexibility over 60 and remind your spine what full mobility feels like. If you're finding this helpful, go ahead, tap that like button, and subscribe to our channel. There's more like this coming. Now, let's come into a seated position for the Piriformis stretch. Most times, the real culprit behind lower back pain after 60 isn't located in your back at all, but lower down. This 4th stretch is one of the best back exercises for older adults, and all you need is a sturdy chair. No floor work at all. So, sit upright in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Cross one ankle over your opposite knee forming a shape that looks like the number 4. Keeping your spine long and straight. Gently lean forward from your hips until you feel a soft, comfortable stretch in your hip. This lower back stiffness relief movement targets deep hip and glute tightness, which frequently pulls directly on the lower spine. It works on the hip and glute muscles, which sit closer to the lower back than people realize. When those muscles tighten, they pull on the lower back and change the way you move without you ever noticing it. A study in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science found that relieving tightness in the hip rotators directly reduces the mechanical compensation required by the lower back and offers profound relief. Loosening them takes pressure off the back itself. And now, the finish. The seated spinal twist. This final movement is the most important and ties the whole routine together by restoring a multi-directional motion we use every single day. It is one of the best back pain exercises at home and a proven way to increase spine flexibility over 60. It also stays in the chair. So, sit up straight in your chair with your feet securely planted. Slowly and with complete control, twist your upper body toward the right, placing your left hand on your right knee for light support. Hold this position for 3 deep breaths. Untwist, and then gently repeat the movement on the left side. It targets rotational mobility throughout the spine. It's the kind of movement that gets lost when most of the day is spent sitting, facing forward. This rotation helps maintain that flexibility needed for simple daily tasks, like turning around to look over your shoulder while driving. It's gentle, it's controlled, and it asks nothing more of the body than it is ready to give. None of these back stretches for seniors require a mat or a special corner of the house. Their beauty is how easily they fit into your daily life. You can easily do the seated hip stretch and the spinal twist right at the kitchen table in the morning, or while relaxing in your favorite chair during the evening news. Keep it light. Be patient with yourself. 10 minutes on most days is the whole goal. A few weeks into these 5 stretches, Robert noticed the pause before standing up had gotten shorter. The wince getting out of the car reduced, then faded altogether. One Saturday morning, without really planning to, he found himself back in the garden, kneeling over the flower beds the way he used to. Nothing about it felt dramatic. It felt like getting something back that had simply been waiting. That's it. 5 stretches in 10 minutes. That's the whole ask. Pick just one to try again tonight. If this video helped you, like and subscribe for more gentle stretches for back pain and evidence-based movement videos for seniors. We're building a strong and active community for adults over 60 right here, and your presence truly makes a difference. Let's show that strength has no age limit, and tell us in the comments which of these stretches felt the best on your back. Thanks for watching. Move calm, live strong, and we'll see you in the next one.